Welcome to episode something of Answers with Austin, where I talk to awesome people, entrepreneurs, and just people doing great things in their life. You want to share it with the rest of you guys. I am here with Mr. Jordan Shuba with Shuba's Landscaping, LLC, to talk about his business and everything about it. So kind of give us like a 30-second synopsis on who you are.
Well, I'm Jordan Shuba. I started this 4 years ago.
Okay.
Kind of just out of the blue.
Okay. What made you kind of want to start a business? That's a big jump.
Yeah, nothing really made me want to start. I mean, I kind of just got into it.
Okay.
Like, I started pressure washing, like I was saying, and I was talking to a friend of mine who owns a landscaping company, and he was like, you should try this out. Do a few jobs. He said there's a lot more to it than just the pressure washer part. So that's kind of how I started my first landscaping job, and then from there I kind of just fell in love with it.
Gotcha.
Love the aspect of it, and
the aspect of like doing landscape or like the business aspect, running.
I didn't really know the business aspect then. I didn't really know what I was getting into. But once I started turning landscapes around, making places look nice, that's kind of what I fell in love with. But then
the Autistic design.
Yeah, exactly. I love the designing things, taking out old ones, or even just making new ones. Making people's homes look pretty.
Nice.
But then after that, I kind of fell in love with the business aspect of it.
Okay. So you kind of went from the Autistic design, switched to the business side.
Yeah.
But it's funny because a lot of people like to make business, make it seem complicated, like gray, kind of you're just stuck in a cubicle that's lame.
Yeah.
But there's almost like an art to it as well.
Yeah.
Kind of switching from that to the business side, how have you kind of made that, I guess, the Autistic side of it continue?
Well, I still do both. So all the designing I do.
Okay.
And I kind of like it. I do all the business end of it as well, but the designing, I don't really want to let that go because I really do enjoy doing it.
Okay. When do you think that time's going to come where you kind of have to say, I got to back up and not do this anymore?
There's going to be a time, that's for sure, and I've thought about it a lot because I think it's going to come sooner than later.
Why is that?
The way we're growing, even though the beginning of this year with everything going on, nobody really knew what was going to happen, but this has been our best year yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, I don't know. Nobody wants to cut their own grass. Nobody wants to go out and do their own landscaping. And I don't really blame them. They'd rather spend time with their family or, they have other things they want to do. So, a lot of people don't want to do their own. They'd rather get somebody in there that's done a bunch of them and, can make their home look pretty without having to do anything.
Yeah, American way, I think, at the end of the day. Get someone to make my house look nice. I don't got to touch it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
So for you, how do you get new leads? Like, do you use social media? Do you cold call, door knock? Like, what works for you?
Honestly, I've tried social media. I haven't tried it, to loft realty extent. I should put it.
Yeah, we put it on steroids. Yeah. Go.
But I just kind of backed off of that because, for one, I'm not a huge technology person, so I'm not great with it. Really talking to people, knocking on doors, I've kind of cut back a little bit on that this year. But never really done much cold calling. I didn't really find that effective. But like if we're out on a job, we'll canvas. And another way we generate leads is networking.
Okay.
Master Networks is one of the biggest.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
And it's not really leads, they're relationships. We hear all about that, but I won't go too much into it.
It's Master Networks. Yeah. Here's the secret sauce, guys.
Yeah, if Bobby's watching, he'll tell you they're not leads, they're relationships, which is the truth. So that's our huge way of getting jobs and stuff like that.
It's the building relationships at the end of the day.
Exactly.
How do you differentiate between somebody who, again, and this is probably the hardest thing I think for most entrepreneurs, is differentiating between that relationship of, is it a lead or am I trying to build something with people? Because a lot of times you see people jump into, I want that lead, I need that hot lead, this, instead of looking long term.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, leads are something you pay for. And they get sent out to 3, 4, 5 other contractors. And you can you can get the jobs, but when it's going out to 4 or 5 other people, it's hard. If you make a relationship with somebody, that's going to be long term. You don't need to get work from them, but just meeting one person could turn into something huge rather than just asking for a lead on Home Advisor or whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, I agree. And obviously Bobby's story that he talks about all the time, Master Networks. I met this one guy and I got all this clientele and now here I am, and it's just like Magic Man. I get it.
Yeah, he can go on and on about that. That's
he
for
loves
sure.
it. But no, I agree. Developing that relationship, sometimes you may not see anything business wise directly out of it. There's business relationships I've developed who I've made no money off of, but they connected me to somebody else. Oh, and then there's this, and then there's that, and then you get that exponential growth.
Exactly. And I'll kind of give you an example. Zach was one of those people. I had met Zach a while back through Robbie, and then Zach invited me to my first Master Networks meeting, and that's how I met Bobby. And so even though Zach didn't really need any work done, I met Bobby, who has passed me a lot of work. So that's kind of the relationships that we like to try and build.
Agreed. It's mutually benefiting, obviously, at the end of the day, but at the same time, you're still, if I tell somebody, hey, this is who I recommend, they're going to trust that coming out of my mouth, especially if I provided them a service. Hey, they like me, now you can trust this guy at the end of the day, too.
Yeah, if you know somebody personally and you recommend me, rather than that person getting my name off of Home Advisor, they're going to it's more likely that they'll go with me, because you're the one that referred me, and they already know you.
So my question, though, is obviously you're the guy who owns it. You're the captain of the ship. You have your soldiers to help everything go forward. How do you maintain and how are you getting exponential growth this year and obviously in 2021? Oh, let's not jump there. 2021 is worse than 2020. We don't even talk about it yet. But how do you continue to build those relationships when you're also still actively working, actually conducting the business?
That's hard. You just have to put yourself out there. You've got to want to make the relationships. They're not just going to happen. But it could happen anywhere, really, a relationship. But as far as out there doing the work, I've kind of shifted more towards trying to make those relationships rather than be out there working. I loved doing the work. That's one of the reasons I kept doing it, but I've come to a point where I need to focus on growth rather than completing the job. So
it's kind of passing that baton off to the next person.
Exactly.
It can be hard to do that.
It's hard to find the right person to do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is that more like on a managerial level, or is it just even like the day-to-day, I guess the landscaping aspect of it?
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to find people that want to work and do the job right. It's not even just work. Like I can pick anybody off the street to go out there and work, but are they going to do the job up to our quality? So that's really the hardest part, and passing off, when you're out there yourself, everything's getting done the way you want it. But it's hard to put that trust in somebody else to actually go out there and have the same motivation and that you have to do the job and get it done right.
What kind of things have you seen to kind of work to make that doable? I've talked to a bunch of business owners and they'd say, hey, same thing. It's hard to find the right person to do the job up to my standard. And I've discussed with people, it depends on how much you're paying them. It depends on, the availability. Do they have the right mindset? You can have them, complete this, mentality kind of test. Where do you fit on here? Are you more this or that? What have you found to be kind of like the most, beneficial when it comes to finding that person?
Really, it's kind of like experience. People that have done it before. If they've never done it before, they're not really going to know without being taught. And I don't expect, somebody to just come in and know everything. That's not really how it works unless they've done it for a while. But yeah, just, getting somebody that can do it, it's
Who has experience.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for you in terms of the hiring process.
And thankfully I have found somebody that I can trust to run, while I'm not there, to run everything while I'm not there.
That's good. So it sounds like you've done a lot. For you in 2021, what's a big goal you have?
Really, our biggest goal is kind of to get another mowing crew running. We're only running one crew, so I mean they're kind of packed full, but it's kind of hard to switch. Just add another crew because you've got one crew that's packed full. You can't just send another one out there. Without you, we have to push to get more yards to mow in order to get this other crew up and running. So I'd like to have 2 crews out mowing rather than just the one.
Yeah, it may make sense. I mean, as you're getting that exponential growth, obviously you have more business at the end of the day, and it is mowing, if I was to say, probably the busiest aspect of your business, or
mowing, yeah, it keeps us very
Time-consuming.
busy. It's time consuming. It's just the same thing every week, whereas the landscaping's different every day. When it comes to mowing, we're going to the same house almost the same time every week.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Gotcha. So my last question is this. So this is a big question to kind of relax a little bit. If you were to give a young entrepreneur one piece of advice, what would it be?
a lot of young people are questioning, what if they should do it. And my piece of advice would be to, just do it. No matter what anybody else is saying. If you have it in your mind that you want to start a business, my advice would be to start it. And, no matter what anybody else says, because there's always going to be the people that say, you should get a different job or get a real job or,
Yeah.
but if you have, if you want to start a business, just do it. Don't listen to what anybody else says.
Just kind of stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Keep your head down.
Yep, exactly. Maybe find some people that are doing something similar to what you're trying to start and talk to them, ask them for advice.
Agreed.
If a young landscaper wanted to start, or somebody wanted to start a landscaping company, I would be more than glad to give them advice.
Let's put it out here right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than enough work out there for everybody.
Agreed. It is.
It's not about stepping on other people's toes. It's about working together.
It really is. And probably one of the biggest things I've learned being an entrepreneur and a business owner is having that coach, that mentor.
Yeah.
I mean, it really changes everything. Almost like today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've had somebody that has helped me through a lot, and I would love to be that person for somebody else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome mentality to have. You want to push other people to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Yep.
This is Mr. Schubert's Landscape, not Mr. Schubert, but Schubert's Landscaping LLC. I told you to mess it up. Take a peek. Awesome service, awesome guy. Really looking to serve Delaware. And obviously, if you guys need anything, reach out to him. But otherwise, thank you, man. Appreciate you.